I'm Paul McGuire, and this is how to build wealth in real estate. I'm going to show you step by step, move by move, how to increase your net worth and increase your cash flow. So here we go. You know, there's three big ways to build wealth in real estate. We're going to cover all three of them. Two, I'm going to show you how to take your equity that you've made in real estate you already own and move it to you can increase not only your equity but your cash flow, and do that tax deferred. And three, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you some specific examples of how to make money long-term, lifetime wealth in real estate. So here we go, let's dive right in. First and foremost, there's three ways to really make money and build wealth in real estate. The first one, of course, is to invest in real estate and hang on to it a long time. That means that, like your parents or maybe your grandparents, you bought a property, you lived in it, or you rented it for many, many years, and the tenants paid off the debt and the property went up in value over a long period of time. By doing that, that creates what's called equity. Equity means that the value of the property is higher than what is owed on the property. In some cases, I've met people that have paid off their property in full. So that's a big way to build wealth in real estate. A second way to build wealth in real estate is by selling real estate to others. So I would get a property under contract and then I would sell that contract to somebody else. That's called wholesaling or flipping or assigning, okay? I talked about that in another video where we talk about assigning a contract to where you would actually get a check, but you never close on the property, and somebody else closes on the property, but you've gotten paid. So with no money down and no money at all, really, you just got a deal in contract, sold to somebody else, and that's the second way to make money in real estate. A third way to make money and build wealth in real estate is, of course, developing real estate, building real estate from scratch, or taking existing real estate and improving it. This is called value add. Value add means that you take a property that's run down or tired or doesn't look good, and you renovate it and upgrade it to make it look really nice. Now, I've done this from everything from apartment buildings to houses. I recently just did a deal with a friend of mine on mobile home. Okay, we bought a mobile home that was tired. Somebody lived in it for 25 years, and we upgraded the flooring, the windows, the paint, the kitchen, and we did all that with what? Home Depot materials. Everything we did, we got at Home Depot. So that mobile home we bought for about $5,000. We paid the space rent while we renovated it. We spent about $18,000 on it total, including the $5,000 to buy it, and sold it for about $35,000, making about $17,000. So that's a small example. A bigger example would be taking a property that is a house and removing all the old tired flooring, the painting, the old cabinets, either removing them or painting them white or gray, and putting new countertops on, changing out sinks, fixtures, refinishing tubs. All of those things can upgrade the house to where now it has more value by the quote value add method, right? So that is one of the most common ways to build wealth in real estate. We talked about development as part of that. I have a friend who already owns a building, but he has additional land on the building. So he's going to build 4 additional units on the building to give him what? Additional income and add additional value. So there's lots of ways to make money in real estate and to build wealth in real estate. Which one works for you, I'm not sure, but I do know this. You have a great opportunity and chance of being successful just because you're watching videos like this. People who are successful learn and invest in themselves. They invest their time in themselves, and that's what you're doing. So I want to acknowledge you for doing that and tell you that you can be successful in real estate. You can build wealth, but you have to learn how, and you have to use, brokers and attorneys and mortgage people and all the people that are going to keep you out of trouble as you learn along the way. By the way, don't forget to subscribe here because this gives you an opportunity to continue to learn from me. I'm a real estate investor. I've been doing this for decades. I'll show you on many of these videos how to do this, how to do that, what this means, what that means, and help you with the vocabulary of real estate so you understand what you're talking about, what you're looking at, and how to do comps, how to assign contracts, how to do a 1031 exchanges, okay? So let's talk about a real example in real life of how to build wealth in real estate, okay? And this is one most of you are familiar with, but we're gonna start with this and we're gonna go the next step, all right? So here's a house, investment property that I bought for $200,000, all right? This house that I bought for $200,000, I redid the flooring, I repainted it, I painted the cabinets, I put new countertops on it, right? And I changed the front door because it was an old beat up front door, and I put a nice wood door on it from Home Depot. Not the 6-panel metal door, but a nice wood door with a nice handle. The windows I did not change, I just cleaned them. They look pretty good. I put new shades in it, modern blinds, and fixed the property and painted the outside, put some rock landscaping. What did I just do there? I did a value add, okay? I then sold the property for $300,000 and made $100,000 on the property. But before I sold it, I rented it for 2 years. Because as I fixed it up, I was able to get more rent. So while renting this property for 2 years, I got enough income to cover all the expenses. And in doing so, that allowed time and appreciation to allow this property to go up, not only from the improvements, but from appreciation, and allowed me to pay down some of my debt by the tenant paying for it with the rent. So all these things build wealth in real estate. Now I have a property that's worth $300,000, so I sell it because I have $100,000 gain, right? I bought it for 2, I sold it for 3. We're going to disregard cost of sale. This is, for example, I made $100,000 on the property. But what do? Well, I could take that money and I could put it in my pocket and I could go out and buy a new car, you know, some new clothes and a new Rolex watch. But I wouldn't build wealth in real estate doing that, would I? I'd look like I was wealthy, but I wouldn't have any wealth, right? It was once termed big hat, no cattle. The cattle produces the income, right? The hat makes you look nice, but it doesn't make you any money. So to build wealth in real estate, what I would do is what's called a 1031 tax deferred exchange, which I talk about on other videos. And I would sell this house, and instead of taking the $100,000 in cash, I would roll that into a fourplex. And I would use that $100,000 as my down payment for the fourplex. And in buying the fourplex, I go from owning one house and one tenant to owning 4 units and 4 tenants paying me income. If one of those tenants moves out, I still have 75% of my rents. If this person moves out, I have no rent and I have to cover the expense. So by doing this exchange now, I've gone from a $200,000 to a $300,000 house to say a $400,000 apartment building that's gonna bring me rent. And I could stop right there and let the tenants pay off the debt, and in 20 or 30 years, depending on my mortgage, pretty much owe nothing and have 4 people paying me rent in perpetuity for like ever. But typically what happens is I'll do the same thing in this building that I did here. I'll fix it up, I'll paint it, I'll improve the doors, I'll put flooring, I'll improve the kitchens, I'll improve the bathrooms, and I'll make it nicer. I'll value add this building. And by value adding this building, I'm able to get more rents. And when I'm able to get more rents, I get more what? Value. More value. The value of the property goes up on investment rental property based on the rent. Because it's a fourplex, I can potentially sell it and trade into an 8-unit building or a 12-unit building. And this 4-unit building, anything 1 to 4 units, I can sell it with FHA financing, meaning the buyer can get low interest government financing to buy this and can buy it owner occupied. Live in one and rent out the other 3. And by doing that, it makes a market that's bigger because more people will be eligible to buy something like this. Live in one, rent out the other 3. Live in one, put another partner in the other one, and rent out the other 2. So this has a lot of flexibility. This is how you build wealth in real estate, my friends. There's a game called Monopoly. Couple houses to a hotel, 1 house to a hotel, 2 houses to a hotel, 3 houses. Okay, I've done that. I've sold multiple properties around the same time and traded into apartment buildings so I would have enough down payment because 100 wasn't enough, right? But in this simple example, this is exactly how people build wealth in real estate. They take the money they made in the real estate and they don't buy stuff, they buy more real estate. And when you buy more real estate, what you'll find is over the years, and this is what I found, is you have more and more and more and more real estate. And as you build this asset base of real estate, you have the trilogy that I call it of real estate ownership. You have appreciation, usually 2 to 3% a year. Lately it's been more. Sometimes it goes down a little bit, depends on the market. Could go down a lot like in 07 or 08, but typically it appreciates over the long haul, 15, 20 years. You know, I was around in 07, 08, 09, very tough year, 2000, and the crash, and a lot of those prices have recovered now. And some of the prices of homes are more than they were back then, which was at that time the peak. Materials cost more, land costs more, it's harder to build, so prices go up. This property, this fourplex, will continue to rise in value over time, and as I raise the rents, it's worth what? More money. Why do rents go up over time? Well, if I improve the property or supply and demand, there's not enough places to rent like there is today, and so people are demanding more money for the units because more people are willing to pay more. Your ability to build wealth in real estate comes down to learning how to invest in real estate by watching videos just like mine, saving your money for down payments or finding investors to help you, going to a loan broker or a bank and a private money lender and getting certified in terms of lending and what you can and can't do, which is what you can and can't do right now. That doesn't mean that's not what you can do in 6 months or a year. Your situation changes, okay? Your income goes up, you pay off some debt, your credit gets better, you get a second gig. All of those things affect your ability to buy real estate. And of course, private money, what is available based on the asset. I did a whole thing on private money, a whole video on hard money, and you can look at, see how you can borrow to get these type of properties, maybe just to acquire them, and then eventually to go ahead and sell them. Building wealth in real estate is a lot of fun, but it's boring, okay? It takes patience. Once you buy a building and it's all rented, that's it. It's kind of like you just operate it, you run it, right? So the big money in real estate, the big money is made by people that hold the property long term and continue to use that cash flow to get what? Freedom. So when you look up how to build wealth in real estate, what do you really want to know? How to be free. And the way you become free is by having cash flow from your real estate, by trading up into multi-unit apartment buildings, or if you're inclined, self-storage, office, retail, whatever. You've got multiple businesses or people paying you a check every month. And this is why the banks love to lend on real estate, because it produces cash flow and profits for the bank as it does for you. And your lender partner is going to make money off this asset and will give you money at oftentimes low rates if you qualify and the property qualifies. And again, go to your mortgage broker, your bank, and find out what you can do, because the banks can borrow money cheaper and they have depositors you pay a small interest to. So they may be able to make 2, 3, 4% on the money in the deposits and lend it to you and create an income stream for them. You, on the other hand, use their money to acquire assets that create an income stream for you. So your lender and you can be a win-win situation. I'm Paul McGuire. Join me on the next video where I'm going to actually talk about hard money loans and what those are about. I'll see you there.